Yo, this Young Thug joint though? Joint is fire. Maybe the best album of the year so far. Nah, I can't lie to get views. What up YouTube, Topaz Jace back for another review, and this one is that Young Thug and YSL Slime Language 2. And before we jump into the review, first I got to offer you context. First I got to tell you everything that I thought about leading up to this project. But if you feel as though you know everything there is to know about Young Thug and YSL, feel free to fast forward to this point here. But okay, who is Young Thug and YSL? YSL is a record label that Young Thug ultimately owns that's signed to 300, who has distribution through Atlantic. 300 being Leo Cohen and Kevin Lyle's record label. This label has been around since 2016 and has had artists like Duke to Gunna to Young Thug ultimately signing himself, and then he got a collaboration with Travis Scott where they call that the Cactus Slat, and a huge number of artists that really don't have a lot of notoriety. And this label has earned some success over its time in the game. Gunna's mixtape Drip Harder went platinum. His studio album Drip or Drown 2 actually went gold. And Young Thug's So Much Fun went platinum. But that's really it. It's either that amount of success or close to the bare minimum. And let's be real, most labels out here never see that amount of success, but we're talking over 20 projects that they released, and these are the only ones that actually made waves. Which brings us to Slime Language 1, in which this project got the red light for me when I originally reviewed it. At least YSL got into the title this time. But do I feel the same today as I did with that music before? And what I said in that review was that it was ultimately each song bled into itself. It was uneventful. Honestly, it was overall trash. Now, today I feel as though trash was a bit of an overstatement. I kind of want to take that back because music has gotten so much worse since 2018. I kind of wish we could go back to that time. It wasn't good, but man, how has music gotten so much worse? But after hearing the singles for this project, that GFU and that Go, I am coming into this project ultimately expecting the same thing. A bunch of the same songs that are uninteresting, that really won't be that good, but people are going to overhype. Which brings us to the review, Slime Language 2, where I will say, Young Thug does do a lot of progression when he does his projects, because this one is far bigger than the last one, where it comes off as the Super Trap All-Star Game. This is featuring Travis Scott, Big Sean, Drake, Lil Baby, Rowdy Rebel, Future, and a huge list of more people. But I'm ultimately still in the same place here because you're pretty much getting the same exact thing, just different beats. All these rappers, for the most part, all rap about the same thing. There's so many people tied to this that there's no way that there could be a concept song or even a concept as an entire project. That is just an unreasonable thing to even ask for. Like, the best that you could get when you got all of these people that you're trying to make songs with is just go in the booth, do your thing. You got paid to do this. I just need a verse. Drop that joint, we're gonna make a hot song, move on to the next as we go through 23 songs of all but these people talking of the same stuff. So we're gonna talk about the songs that you guys want me to talk about, and then I'm gonna talk about the actual good songs from this project. Starting with Diamonds Dancing that has Travis Scott on it. Get used to this theme of all of these rappers just rapping about the diamonds and talking about the women and all of this stuff that they got because they got nothing else to talk about. But this song in particular, overhyped, bland production, nothing unique, nothing great to come about it. Like, if this is what the group is going to be delivering musically, then I'm okay. But much like any group, I always believe, you need to build your chemistry. You need to work with each other for quite some time before you find the happy medium and find your own unique sound. Because ultimately, at this point, Travis Scott is doing Travis Scott, Young Thug is doing Young Thug, and they're just on a beat. instead of them actually composing something new that people should want to listen to. The next song y'all want to hear about is Solid featuring Drake. What you're pretty much getting here is the female topic driven Drake that's on super dry material, one that I've never been a fan of. Another super overrated track here, as no one really adds to or remolds this super dry production. Instead, they all just trying to fit in and make this into something huge, which it will be huge just off the namesake alone and how it went viral already just as soon as it dropped. Next is that Proud of You featuring Lil Uzi Vert, where man, like Lil Uzi's fans have like the lowest bar possible to be pleased by Lil Uzi. So you're telling me he created a song speaking about himself in the third person, pole jogging himself because he got jewelry and stuff on. Like, for real, this is the best that you actually want. And this went viral as well. Then that I Like featuring Coi Leray, and much like how all the guys are only going to rap about diamonds and all that stuff, the women are only going to talk about guys spending money on them, because that's how women get the value out here on the dating market. When a guy comes and spends money on them, whether it's buying drinks, buying them new cars, buying them whatever. A really lackluster track here, as she tried to go with the vibe, but she's just so lackluster as an individual out here in the game that she wasn't going to be able to save or make this into anything special. Not saying that the new Dash Loaf is trash, I just need more, and I need her to be more unique to herself too. But this song just wasn't it. There were only 2 songs on this that really had a little bit of substance to them, starting with that Real featuring Unfunk, in which nobody's talking about this because nobody knows this individual like that, but yet that raspy voice on top of the guitar-driven production with Young Thug coming up in the track came out pretty solid. But yet you can tell that the fans only care about the names, they don't care about the music. And that trance track near the end was actually pretty cool too. Like, I like the vibe of the production and the way that Kylie was rapping on it. Like, she has some pretty good delivery. Like, I want to hear more from her. But that's really about it of all noteworthy music that came about this entire project that took forever to listen to. That you gotta listen to it multiple times because a lot of these MCs, they mumble. They make it difficult for you to actually hear what they're trying to say. And then the vibes just really ain't on point. But you know, we kinda have to go ahead and break down the bars, even though you already know. See, this is why I dislike compilations, because it is a lot like a Jungle Juice for a frat party. You dig? That's when they go out to the store and buy the cheapest gallons of liquor that they possibly can, put them all together, and then dilute it down with as much super sugary sweet Hawaiian punch on top of whatever fruits that they can get, and try to just solve that all up for a huge house party, in which it'll get you drunk, but guaranteed the hangover ain't gonna be worth it. But the difference with this project is that Young Thug is actually getting the quality ingredients. But the problem is, when you begin to mix in a Smirnoff vodka, aka Lil Uzi Vert, but then you throw in some lean, aka Future, you end up getting something that's not going to taste very well. As an entire project, this is ultimately lacking in all things lyrical. But you know, you don't necessarily need lyricism to make these kinds of projects work. But yet, when you don't have the consistency from track to track, when you keep getting the same track over and over and over substance-wise, when you're really just chasing after the name brands instead of actually composing a solid drink, then this is what you're going to get. Let's go ahead and look at some of these specific bars, if you want to call them that. Martin Luther King with the black diamonds on my wrist. Like, I understand what you're trying to go for there, player, but one, it makes zero sense in the context of bars. Like, I understand you want to channel black empowerment, like how you got black diamonds, but that's just a trash bar, my dude. And like how another person says, chandelier on my wrist, not on the ceiling. Notice the theme here. All of these are going to be the same. And then another say, yo, my neck and my wrist is still in the shower. Like, okay, bro, is that all these people have to talk about? Yes, absolutely. But like I said, I didn't come into this expecting great lyricism or anything like that. What I really just wanted was solid caliber vibe tracks, and what you get is 2 out of 23. It's not a good look. Is it better than the first one? It's bigger than the first one, but I do believe the first one is better than this one, sadly, and I still hold true to the fact that the first one wasn't that good. It's better than what I thought it was, just based on how garbage the music industry has continued to go. Overall, I'll give points for the attempt to do something bigger and better than before, and the fact that there are a couple songs when I came into it expecting there would be none. But it's just not an interesting project, dude. I'ma give this one a 3 out of 10. One you should go ahead and peep out one time to see your favorite artist if you have one on this joint, and whatever's viral just to stay up to date. But I'm not keeping too much of nothing on this. Not even the ones that I said I somewhat like. Like, I'll listen to them some more, but I don't think they're gonna make the playlist.